Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the virtual design update meeting for the Cottage Grove East Phase 2 Drainage and Paving Project. I'm Kenya Williams with Houston Public Works, and I'm excited to have you all here with us tonight as we dive into the latest updates on this important project. Thanks for joining. Just a quick housekeeping note. We ask that you hold all questions until the end of the presentation when we'll have a dedicated Q&A session. Many of your questions may be answered as we go through the updates, so stay tuned. With that, let's dive in. Here with us tonight is Cole Wilbur with District C to make remarks on behalf of your hardest working council member, Abby Kamen. Cole?
Thanks, Kenya. Councilmember Kamen was supposed to be on the meeting tonight, but there was a district emergency. Unfortunately, some of the Freedmanstown bricks were damaged, and she is currently on site given the nature of the situation. But she wanted to make sure I was here to thank HPW for helping move this project along. We have some members of the project team on tonight, as well as our great public engagement team for hosting this design update meeting. We also want to express our appreciation for all the residents and Cottage Grove Civic Association and their role as we move through the project process. These are much needed improvements, and we have a SWAT project currently in the works on the way, which is to be followed by $158,000 of sidewalk improvements as well. So we have a lot to look forward to in Cottage Grove. Thank you, Kenya.
Thanks, Cole. Also here today is the Assistant Director for Engineering and Construction in Houston Public Works, Tanu Hireman. She will introduce the team responsible for this project to you. Tanu?
Thank you, Kenya. Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us this evening to receive this important information about an upcoming project in your neighborhood. So the hardworking team behind this is from City Team. We have Omar Abdul Karim, who is a project manager. Sudarshan Guni, he's a managing engineer over the whole team that manages this project. And Omar Rafi is the assistant project manager. On the engineer of record for this project is Will Pritt. We have Robert Hill, who is our project manager for this project currently with us in this meeting. Also assisting him on this project is Pedro Gonzalez. With that, I hand it back to you, Kenya. Thank you.
Thanks, Tanu. Here's what's in store for tonight's presentation. First, we'll dive into the details of the project. Then we'll bring you up to speed on the latest design updates and what's coming next. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a Q&A session where you'll have the chance to get your questions answered. So let's begin. This transformative drainage project is all about protecting homes and improving our community's resilience. This project provides for the design and construction of stormwater improvements, necessary concrete paving, curbs, sidewalks, driveways, and underground utilities. The project will improve drainage of streets and reduce the risk of structural flooding. Backed by a $30.7 million budget, the project is currently in the design phase with construction set to begin this year. Before construction starts, Houston Public Works will host a How to Prepare for Construction meeting to ensure the community is informed and ready. Leading this effort is our project manager, Omar Abdul Karim. This project is a step forward in making our city stronger and safer, and we're excited to bring you along on the journey. Here with us tonight to share the exciting design updates is Robert Hill from Woolpert. We're thrilled to have you here with us, Robert. Thank you for joining.
Pleasure to be here. Would you like me to go ahead and start?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, as you see, the current slide is an aerial photograph of the project area, bound to the north by White Oak Bayou, to the south by I-10 frontage road, to the west by TC Jester, and to the east by Shepherd. This neighborhood is made up of commercial properties along the boundary and one isolated commercial project area in the north. Predominantly townhouses and single-family residences within this site. Slide, please. Total linear foot of storm sewer installed will be 14,000 linear feet. We have 32,000 feet of new sidewalk, 3,000 tree replacements, 16,000 feet of new water line, 10,000 feet of wastewater lines, and 3 miles of new roadway. Each intersection will have new ADA accessible ramps. There'll be a small connectivity to the White Oak Trail with a hike and bike connection, all new drains, and 20 new streetlights. The proposed pavement section is a curb and gutter with new sidewalks, the 26-foot wide street to replace the existing streets that are curb and gutter. Slide. The open ditch streets will be converted to curb and gutter with sidewalks as well. Slide. The proposed pavement improvements are shown in yellow on the current slide. There's one section of Darling Street that was recently reconstructed and will not be impacted by the construction, with the exception of the intersection of, oh, sorry, I can't read that. Dietering and Darling. Slide, please. This slide shows the connectivity to the hike and bike trail along White Oak Bayou. Slide. These are typical sections of what exists and what is being proposed in your neighborhood. Increased roadway pavement width to meet the city's minimum standard of 26 feet. We're going to convert your open ditch roadway sections to curb and gutter sections with underground storm sewer infrastructure. There will also be a minimum 5-foot sidewalks on both sides of the roadway. Where feasible, there may be some segments that are 4 feet. Relocation of utility poles that conflict with the proposed roadway and sidewalk improvements. The proposed paving will be 6 and 7-inch thick concrete depending on the area and the commercial traffic there. The pavement will be stabilized over an 8-inch stabilized subgrade. Slide. This is a typical section of an open ditch street, which will be converted to a curb and gutter, as you see from the typical sections on the right-hand side of the slide. Slide. This is the same situation, just in a different location. Open ditch to be converted to curb and gutter. Slide, please. Slide.
Oh.
Gotta catch up. We have several of these. This is a single family area, not a townhome area, but it's the same type of situation where we have an existing curb and gutter street that's just long past its lifespan. Will be reconstructed with concrete and sidewalks. Slide, please. The proposed stormwater improvements are shown in green and encompass the entire area where we are replacing pavement, as well as a drainage easement along at the corner of Reinerman and Cayam, which feeds the discharge point to White Oak Bayou. Slide. Our proposed water lines encompass the majority of the project, as shown in purple. Slide, please. Wastewater, everywhere we're putting in new pavement, we're getting new wastewater lines as well and service connections.
Okay. Oh, all right. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
So next steps. We are at the home stretch and we are now preparing for the construction process. Don't worry, we'll come back to host a how to prepare for construction meeting with you before work begins, so stay tuned. We are always here to help. Have questions or concerns before, during, and after the project? We've got you covered. You can call 311 anytime for assistance, or if you prefer, email us directly at engage@houstontx.gov. Your feedback matters, so let's stay connected. Before we wrap up, a big thank you. Let's take a moment to show our love to the incredible individuals and teams who made tonight possible. A huge thank you to District C and Councilmember Kamen for their unwavering support. You make a difference every day. Shout out to our dedicated project team here at Houston Public Works for their hard work and commitment to improving our community. And let's not forget our amazing engagement squad for making this meeting seamless and engaging. But most importantly, thank you. Your time and attention and participation mean the world to us. Now, we have one small favor. Spread the word. Share what you've learned with your friends and neighbors, and keep our community informed and empowered. It's Q&A time. One of the best parts about being here tonight, you get exclusive real-time answers from our incredible project team. This is your moment to ask, clarify, and get the details straight from the experts. So don't be shy. Fire away. And to lead us through this interactive session, I'm thrilled to introduce someone who knows how to keep the conversation flowing, Ryan Prillman from our outstanding public engagement team. Take it away, Ryan.
Thank you, Kenya. Greetings, everyone. I'm Ryan Prillman with Houston Public Works, and thank you for joining us for tonight's virtual design update meeting regarding the Cottage Grove East project. Welcome to the Q&A session. This is your opportunity to connect with our team, ask questions, and share your thoughts about the design of this project. Your input is incredibly valuable, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. Submitting a question is simple. Just follow these steps. Click the Q&A icon on the right-hand side of your screen. It looks like a speech with a bubble with a question mark in it. Type your question into the box and hit send. You can submit questions anonymously, but we encourage you to include your name and email, especially if your question may need follow-up. Your questions are already coming in now, but as a quick reminder, tonight's Q&A session isn't the end of the conversation. If you think of something later, feel free to email us at engage@houstontx.gov. With that being said, let's get started. All right. Okay. Stephen has a question. He says, since we're already in summer of 2025, is the timeline still valid?
I can take that. Yes, the timeline is still valid. Our construction timeline is for summer months, it's until September. So summer is July, August, September. So it is still valid. We also had a question about the sequencing, or I guess the phasing of the construction. And once we identify a contractor to do the work, we will have a construction phasing map for you, and that will be shared at the How to Prepare for Construction meeting. So all of those details about the work will be shared at that meeting.
Thank you, Kenya. All right. Next question. All right, we have a question. It's in reference to underground utility upgrades. This is the question. Presumably, underground utility upgrades do not mean that you're putting electrical lines underground. Can anyone answer this one?
I'll take that one. This is Tanu Hiramat. When we talked about underground utilities, we're talking about water, wastewater, and storm lines that we're going to be putting in. Now, the electrical, we don't do electrical utilities. That would be center point.
Thank you. All right, we got a question about the parking. How will the changes affect already limited street parking?
Do we have the design engineer to answer that?
I'm here. There will still be limited street parking. The streets will only be 26 feet wide.
Gotcha.
So to reiterate that, we are taking away the roadside ditches and putting in curb and gutter. So basically, your roads are going to be, or streets are going to be wider.
Yes. That is correct.
Thank you. All right, we have a question about the trees. What happens to the mature trees that exist? What area and what area will be started first? I'll take that second part. So as we mentioned, the phasing will be, we'll share the phasing with you guys during the construction portion of the construction meeting in the future. But what happens to mature trees that exist? Anybody want to take this one?
I could take that one. We've done an extensive tree survey and assessment. Trees that will survive the construction will be preserved and protected to the best of our ability. Those trees that are currently encroaching upon the ditches and roadway will be removed, but there will be 300 new trees planted in the neighborhood.
Thank you. And does that include trees that are on the people's property, or I guess that's anything in the right of way, correct?
This
That
only
the-
includes trees within the right of way, yes.
Got you. Okay, thank you. All right, so great question. Brandon has a question about the current width of the street. What is the current width of the street?
The current width of the streets varies between 26 and 20 feet throughout the neighborhood.
Thank you. All right, I have another question about the right of way. Will construction activities impact private property adjacent to the right of way?
I could take that. There will be minimal impact to the property adjacent to the right of way. We've made provisions within our plans not to disturb private property if at all possible.
I want to add to that. So typically, most of our construction or all of our construction is within the right of way. The only time it will impact private property is when we have to temporarily give them access to a driveway during construction, or if some utilities or service connection is disrupted, we have to enter the private property at that situation. We don't anticipate it much, but if it does happen, we do coordinate with the private property owners.
Thank you. All right, let's see. During the project, how will the Civic Association receive updates and give feedback? How can individual residents give feedback to the project managers? Well, you can email us at engage@houstontx.gov with any of your questions about this particular project.
And I would like to add to that, we do host construction progress meetings during the project construction, throughout the project construction. And we typically welcome any representative from the civic associations or HOAs to attend if they want to get firsthand information on what the project progress is. And we are going to discuss that during a how to prepare for construction meeting that's upcoming.
Thank you. All right. We got a question about flooding. Are there considerations to minimize flooding impacts caused by construction as we head into hurricane season?
I can take that one. Typically, when we are doing construction projects, we protect the inlets and other areas, but this project includes roadside ditches, but we will do our best to keep the water flowing. Typically, we do advise the contractor before a hurricane or any event like that should happen, and they're required to take off the sandbags and other things that are blocking the inlets. So, and again, during how to prepare for construction, we're going to cover this more in detail.
Thank you. I got a question about the trees. Are there any repercussions? And this is a question about the pink. I'm sorry. Are there any repercussions if homeowners cut down newly planted trees? So I don't know if that's even we could probably address that question during how to prepare for construction, but we'll get an answer for you on that. Next question.
Brian, before we move
Okay.
before we move on, I wanted to add these trees are going to be planted in the right of way as a mitigation requirement as per our tree ordinance. So you're not supposed to be cutting down these trees, and they're not on private property. It's going to be on city right of way.
Thank you. All right. All right. What is the project number for reference? The next question.
Here, I got that. I'll move to the slide with the project number. Well, there's numbers on here too, but let me go to the main slide. The project number is right here at the bottom.
So you have M-410039
Yeah, sorry.
-0002. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Are there any plans to put speed bumps in or anything that controls speed limits in the neighborhood?
So I can take it. I think there is no speed bumps on these streets, but if it is required, we will provide.
Thank you. All right. Is turn signage on Shepherd northbound at I-10 included as a part of this project? Northbound, Shepherd northbound. I don't think Shepherd is a part of the project boundary. As you can take a look at this map, Shepherd is all the way to the right on the bottom, and that's the blue section, which is sub-project 1. Today we're discussing sub-project 2. So I don't think, Stephen, to answer your question, I don't think that Shepherd northbound at I-10 is included in the project. Thank you. All right. Now, I will say this. I am seeing quite a few questions in reference to Cottage Grove West, and I didn't want to pass up on those, but this is Cottage Grove East. Does anybody want to Cottage Grove West would be like another project if that comes along. Just wanted to make mention of that. All right. Next question. Let's see. I'm not sure if we have this. Do we know if we have a couple of questions about is work going to be going on the weekends, or what are the hours?
I can take that one. Typically, we cover these questions during how to prepare for construction, but typically we do not have work over weekends or after hours unless and until there's an emergency.
Thank you. All right. So Thank you for that answer for the hours. We have another question in reference to Cornish Street, which is a part of this project. What does the work start and when does the work start and finish? Does it start on Cornish and work its way up? I guess that's a phasing question, and that information will be shared on the next meeting, which is the how to prepare for construction meeting.
Right. So a lot of these questions, once a contractor is identified, they'll provide a phasing map for us. And at the How to Prepare for Construction meeting, we'll give you details of what is phase one of the project. It will have several phases, and it'll give you more details on where they're starting and where they're finishing. So that is more of course, those details are coming once we identify a contractor.
Thank you, Kenya. All right. Is there a way to review and submit input regarding the placement of stop signs, no parking signs, and blind spot mirrors?
So I'll take that one. Typically, we do not provide design plans for review and comment, but if you have any concerns or any input you want to provide, you're welcome to do so if we can address those concerns. Typically, our design engineers decide those things based on traffic safety and our standard design standards.
Thank you. Great. Okay, Will has another question. When will a contractor be chosen?
So our summer months, we said this project will begin construction in summer of this year. Our summer months are July, August, September. So within those 3 months, we will again host a meeting, and we will have identified the contractor, and at this meeting, the contractor will be in attendance to go over all those details with you. So we'll introduce the contractor at the How to Prepare for Construction meeting, most likely around August, September.
Thank you, Kenya. And then we have a question, Kenya, we have a question about the next meeting. When can we expect to prepare for construction meeting?
Yes, around August, September. But let me address some of these questions about, updates, feedback. How can I get that information as the project progresses? And we also had a couple of questions. People are familiar with engagehouston.org. So good news, engagehouston.org is returning. We are planning for its return this week, as a matter of fact. And once it returns, you will start getting those updates. There will be a Cottage Grove East project page, and on that project page, you can subscribe, meaning once we get updates along the way as they become available, you will be emailed those updates. So please stay tuned for Engage. And by the time we host our How to Prepare for Construction meeting, we will, introduce Engage to all of you. And this is how we communicate. This is our engagement, our public engagement platform. So we're really excited about the return of Engage Houston. And just stay tuned for that. Again, we hope that it will be live by the end of this week. And we will, again, reintroduce Engage to everyone by the meeting at the How to Prepare for Construction meeting that we're going to host around between August or September. But we will let everyone know. We will mail those meeting notifications just as we did for tonight's meeting, and alert the Civic Club associations as well.
Thank you, Kenya. All right, we have another question. And it's another construction question. So we do have a construction meeting coming up, how to prepare for construction. And at that meeting, we'll discuss how to prepare. All right. Next question. How's the firehouse traffic on Larkin factored into the project design, including parking limits and signage? I did have an opportunity. We were out in the community handing out flyers, inviting people to attend the meeting, and I did happen to walk past the firehouse. Anyone want to answer that in reference to the firehouse? I don't know how you would answer it, but how is the firehouse traffic on Larkin factored into the project design, including parking limits and signage?
I would refer that to our design engineer, if they have any information on any special accommodations, if they have been.
There were no special accommodations made.
Thank you. Right. Well, that wraps up our Q&A session. Let's see. On behalf of Houston Public Works, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Councilmember Abby Kamen and the entire District C staff, as well as the project team, the public engagement team, and most importantly, you, our community members and stakeholders, for taking the time to join us tonight. As a reminder, this recorded presentation will be available in the coming days on Houston Public Works YouTube channel. So be sure to check it out and share it with your neighbors. Until next time, thank you again and have a great night. Thank you.